How
Hello.
you doing, Erik? What's going on?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Simone, how are you doing today?
I am doing amazing. So I want to welcome us to our special. This is our special cash out on cannabis. Most people that watch us on the regular basis, they usually watch us on the first Monday of every month. But this month, because it's 420, we got some special things going on. We got tonight's episode, and then we also have one that's going to be next Monday. So we are getting ready. We are celebrating 420 virtually, and we're going to kick this thing off because we got some amazing guests
Yes, we
coming
do.
on. So definitely, Erik, introduce yourself to everyone as if they don't know who you are. But please introduce yourself to everyone.
So, my name is Eric Foster, and as my partner in crime, Simone mentioned, I am the Vice President for Strategy and Business Development at Banks and Company. I'm also the National Policy Director for Cannabis and Hemp for Minorities for Medical Marijuana. So I'm really involved in all of the stuff that we're doing at the federal and at the different state levels. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work out here in these streets we got to do.
Yeah, you know what, Erik? Don't you feel like we probably worked harder these last 4 months than we worked in the last 4 years?
Yeah, and it seems like every week something new is happening at a
Yeah.
different state level, and it's like, oh Lord, not again. I got to help, and we got to respond to this. But
Hmm.
patience is the key.
Yep.
Patience. When I came out and was born, I had to give them a dissertation on how to improve the birthing process. You ask my mom, and they'd be like, "That boy was talking since the beginning. He ain't never
Mhm.
stopped talking
I
or
can
working."
believe that. I can totally believe that. I can totally believe that.
Hmm.
And so definitely, of course, my partner in crime, I'm so glad that you're here. Erik, I'm Cimone Kason. Some of you guys call me the dope chick. I'm the dopest chick on your timeline. But one of the things that I love doing is I am the owner of Cannabis Capital, which is let me turn this down. What Cannabis Capital, which is an insurance agency. We cover everything from seed to sale and everything in between. And then also I am the national director for Minorities for Medical Marijuana social economics program. So I get a chance to do some really cool stuff, like get on the platform and hang out with you guys. So with no further ado, I know we got a lot of people watching. We've been sharing this, we've been talking about it. And so we are so excited to be interviewing our guests. And so I want to go ahead and bring our guest in. We got
Okay.
raffles, we got giveaways tonight. We're going to have so much fun. This is going to be
And
a
you're gonna
very
learn something too.
interactive event. What did you say, Erik? Go ahead.
I say, and you're gonna learn something too. It's
And
always
you're
fun when
going
you
to
can
learn
learn something.
something. And you're
Yeah.
going to learn something.
But it
I'm
ain't
going
gonna
to
be
turn.
as serious as our usual show. So it's gonna be a little bit more light, like Simone said.
Yes, so we're gonna have fun. So the first individuals that we'd love to have come in is Mel and Nancy. We got them backstage, so we'll have them come in.
Nope.
Hi, Mel and Nancy. How
Hi
you
guys, how you
guys doing?
doing? Great, great. How you doing?
We're doing amazing. So, for those of you who don't know, Mel and Nancy are critically acclaimed event coordinators, and they've actually been doing these events since the beginning. And they have a wonderful track record of hosting some of the dopest parties. I don't mean no pun in the state of Michigan. So, welcome, ladies. How are you guys doing tonight? Please introduce yourselves to everybody and tell them about Michigan Cannabis event.
Well, first, I'm Nancy, and I'm so excited to be here. And Simone, thank you for inviting us.
My
Erik, you as
pleasure.
well. Yeah, we started doing the events about a year and a half ago. Now this year, they were so successful. We're having a lot of municipalities and cities reaching out to us. We're not the face that most people perceive that are going to be the cannabis, event coordinators, and so I think it makes a really soft opening for individuals to, maybe listen when they wouldn't. So now I don't know. Do you want to continue on?
Hi, everybody. I'm Mel. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it, Simone and Erik. So excited to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Nancy said, we've been doing festivals now a little over a year, and I guess the most rewarding thing is, just the lives that we've been changing along the way. So we're very excited about being here to share some more information for everybody and tell you a little bit about what's coming up with our upcoming events. And I just can't wait to have you meet the rest of our team and let you know everything that we have going on. So thank you.
Well, we're glad to have you here. And you know, you mentioned, and that's one of the fun things about this industry is the diversity of people. You don't expect to see a lot of folks that are in the industry. You know, I am a suit and tie guy, corporate guy. So a lot of places I go
A
in,
very suit and tie guy.
and I go in and they're like, wow, you know, we wouldn't expect somebody from that kind of background to be involved in this. But it's because I see the benefits, economic, health, and others. And I'm glad to see you all in it too, because events done right, because that's the key. Events done right is critical out here.
It is. Yep. Totally agree. I'll tell you, I mean, we kind of thought outside the box a little bit with these events. And so by thinking outside the box and just bringing the education part into this has just been key for us. And so going back to what you said, Erik, it's amazing because, you know, you're a suit and tie guy, but there's nothing more rewarding than seeing a 21-year-old come in with like a 70 or 80-year-old because they've never tried cannabis before. And so we're allowing them to have this platform to come in.
Not the 21-year-old.
No, but we're having.
Well, look, I'm going to have you guys hold that thought because we're going to talk even more about a lot of the initiatives that you guys are actually doing that are bridging this gap. So I don't want to lose that yet. But before we do that, let's bring in our celebrity chefs that are here. Can we please bring in Marjorie and Dustin?
Hey. How are everyone?
And look, listen. So for some reason tonight we were graced with them being together. So we have Chef Marjorie and Chef Dustin. Really quickly, would you guys tell us about what you guys do, how you got in to the industry, just really briefly, and then we're going to go in and we're going to talk about what you guys got coming up.
Yes, amazing. Thank you, Cimone. So we have a lot coming up, which is great. But my name is Chef Dustie or Dusty. You'll find me on TikTok, Facebook outlets. You'll find me at Chef Official Dustin Morel, or you'll find me at Chef Dusty on TikTok. So basically, Mel and Nancy have been great friends and business leaders, and they educate during the marijuana process. So I jumped on board when they asked me to do the VIP food service for all of our events that we host here in Michigan. And with that, I've been in the business and I've been in the industry since 2013. So I was Los Angeles Dodgers performance chef for about 3.5 years. So
we did not talk about that. I never knew that.
So I traveled with the team, and I was up close and personal in the locker room, feeding all the players, you know, and the strength and conditioning coaches. And since then, I wrote my cookbook and was awarded some great awards. And I keep on striving for the best quality food, farm to table.
I love that. Oh, Dusty, you are the man. See, you know what, Erik, this is the cool thing. We get a chance to hang out with the dopest people. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. I love that everybody that we get a chance to interact with, they're always like prime time players. I love it. Which I'm leading over to my homegirl. What's going on, Chef Marjorie? How you doing?
Hi, I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Tell me about yourself, girlfriend.
So, I have been catering officially since 2010. I have been cooking though all my life, doing events. Before I started doing it professionally, I was the house to go to for all the parties.
Chef Marjorie has a cult following in Detroit. I don't know if y'all know this, but she has a true cult following for her food. But go ahead.
So in 2018, 19, I started doing infused things. I was doing it like just for family and friends, and then I started having my dinner parties and everything. And then it just kind of blew up overnight. And then just recently, I just met with the wonderful Mel and Nancy, and I have joined the team. So now me and Chef Dusty is part of the team.
Yeah, the team.
Awesome team. Awesome team. So I think you guys are a phenomenal team. So one of the things that we definitely are going to talk about, and we're going to talk about this reggae event that's coming up, but a couple of things that I want to address. And so you guys just follow me. The first thing is, we're going to do a trivia very, very shortly. So you guys go on there. Now, one of the things, in Michigan, our MRA, our board formerly known as the MRA, now known as the CRA, which is the Cannabis Regulatory Association, has done a lot to be able to be kind of creative in licensing. And so if you don't know this, there is a license to be able to obtain and to be able to organize these events. And it is called the marijuana licensing, event organizer's license, right?
Correct.
And so it still has to meet financial requirements, and there's a lot that has to do go in with that. But before we talk about that, because y'all know I'm here with Erik. It's a hard job. And so I wanted this to just be a party. But I have to deal with Erik, and he said, can't just do it like that. So the first thing, I'm gonna give away some tickets to this event. And if you guys, it's really, really easy. So our first set of tickets, we're going to give, and I'm gonna do a question. So my question is going to be this, and then you can put it into the chat wherever you are. We have a producer. They'll be able to grab the name of the first person who wins, and then we'll announce all of the winners at the end. So we in the USA. And so I want to know, this is a question. Which United States president was the first president to grow cannabis on his land? Who was the first U.S. president to? No, Dusty, you can't win.
We all have to be quiet.
Actually grow cannabis.
This is for the people.
Like a crop. He grew this as a crop. So it's for the people.
Yes.
We're going to give those a few minutes. We got our producer that will be able to pick up the first name, and we're going to keep going to keep everything going. But that is the question. And if you do that, Mel and Nance, what do they get?
Go ahead.
They are getting general admission to our reggae by the Riverside Festival, which is going to be April 30th, and it is going to be amazing, 10 to 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like Miss Crystal won it. Miss Crystal, thank you so much. So you get a free entry, general admission. We will be able to send you the link. We got one, so thank you so much. Stay tuned because we're going to be giving away more tickets. Now I have to make Mr. Foster happy because he has to tell you how difficult and how everything works to be able to get into this space. Now, being able to create events is a wonderful thing, right? But it is a lot more than just throwing a party. So, Mr. Foster, would you explain to everyone what those regulations are? And then we're going to have Mel and Nancy tell their story about how they actually got in. Does that sound cool?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Right,
I've been told I'm on a time limit, which is always difficult for me.
You know you got 2 minutes. Don't do that.
Yes, I'm gonna try.
You got to make it. Come on, because we got so much to do and so little time.
So, guys, here we go. So, Michigan is a dual state market, medical and recreational, but you can't do events under the medical side. You can only do it under the recreational side. The way we work in this state is it's a two-step license process. The event organizer, which allows you to be governed to do events. You don't have to have a headquarters in terms of a physical location like the other license types. But when you're ready to do an event, it has to be in a community that's opted in to allow events. And then you have to apply for a temporary event organizer license at the state level, along with applying for the permit and the other event rules within that particular municipality. Now, you don't have to apply for a municipal license. So it does have a lot of features like doing events, like if you're a concert promoter or the like, but it's that two-step process at the state. And as Cimone mentioned, you do have to apply for your step 1 and step 2 approval at the state level. Your insurance and financial responsibility comes into play when it's time for you to actually do an event and apply for that. So yes, you can't just go in your backyard and say, I'm doing a cannabis event. Come on down. That's wrong. I
Right.
want y'all going to jail. I want y'all doing anything that's going to mess up your ability to be in this industry.
Yep.
Right.
So calm down, do it right. There's a way to do it, and we can help you through that. So
Awesome. And then also for your
financial
financial responsibility, of course, Candace Capital can always help you. We're able to assign the attestation, to get the attestation signed, and that's what you actually need to meet your financial responsibility. Because of the new ruling in Michigan, it has been a little bit harder, but we can definitely take care of that. Now I'm gonna swing it over to Mel and Nancy, who actually have a license and has been doing this for so well. So tell us about how you actually got into the game.
So, all right, I'll go ahead and take this question.
Okay.
So anyways,
Okay.
so we actually started a year ago. We were partnered up with somebody, and then we did festivals, and we were organizing them, and then it turned out that we wanted to go in a different direction. We wanted to make it more of a educational. So we went out and got our own license, turn it in more educational than being more that you're just going and people just getting high. You know what I mean? So, and I want to
Not that we don't have a lot of people that enjoy it that way too. You know,
No,
that's always a good thing.
No, there is, but it's not like, yes, it's not like that people aren't there enjoying it. It goes back to that, like you said, Eric, it's all different types of people that are then showing up and coming there. And it's just it's really good when you can bring people, like I said, that have never tried it, and then they get educated. So we ended up getting our license. There is actually 3 of us. Howard is one of our partners. He's not on today. So we actually got our license, and ever since then we have been just so successful in everything that we've been doing, because we kind of thought outside the box of how to make it we all want to make money, or we all want to do that, but I'll tell you what, it has been so rewarding, because we actually give out free tickets. We call around to the senior centers. Seniors and disabled get in free to every single one of our festivals.
Okay.
And because we do that with everybody. And so, and I like to call around like a 30-mile radius compared where we're having at, because I found in our festivals that when you have people that are showing up that have never tried cannabis, this is just giving them a place to come where we're all like-minded and they get to try it. And dosing's always the biggest question, because they don't know what to do about dosing. And a lot of times they're on meds and they don't know if they can even do cannabis with the meds that they're taking. So I'm not a doctor and I'll never say anything, but it gives them a place to come and be able to learn about cannabis and see if the dosing and see if it's something that might help them, you know? So yeah, we got into this, and it just keeps getting better and better every single time. And more people, instead of just, and I say this all the time, but you know, now we're in an area where we're changing thousands of lives, not just, we're just changed one. And then you have people like, you know, Dusty and Marjorie, who are putting stuff together and teaching people. We don't do anything infused. It's illegal to do infused at our festivals, but it is something that they're able to educate and say, you know, food that they can make, you know, different things like that. So just like Eric said, there's a lot of rules and a lot of things you have to follow, you know what I mean? And we just make sure that we do.
Actually,
I love that you guys really follow those rules. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Eric.
I want to jump in and ask you a question on that,
Sure.
because one, I like the fact that you do that, because you bring in seniors.
Correct.
And anybody that knows about trying to go around in Michigan, which is an uncapped local control market, you have to get municipalities to opt in, and getting seniors to be comfortable with this is important to the elected officials who have to approve allowing these events and businesses to take place. So how have you seen in terms of the cities? Because I want to ask you that question, because not a lot of the cities that allow the businesses also allow the events. So what are you seeing in terms of that? How does that hinder or help what you all do in putting on these events?
As far as the ones that have opted in, or as far as the ones, so just a really quick, we had 2 meetings this past week with 2 different cities that have not opted in on either, nothing yet, like not in for medical or recreational, and not for festivals. Because you know, Eric and Cimone, that some people have dispensaries everywhere, but they've opted out to do the events. You know what I mean? So So Nancy and I, kind of going back to, we would go in front of boards all the time to like have, you know, talk about and get people excited and tell them what we do. And when you start talking about the education part of it and the free tickets for senior and disabled, because you know what? It is changing lives and it can change lives. And so when we get in front of people like that and they don't expect to see, you know, Nancy and I, first of all, but we are very passionate about what we do. And so we have changed. It was so exciting. So I'm very excited that our festival, this coming up festival, that they're coming, the mayor and I gave tickets to the mayor and the city councils all to come to these 2 different cities and gave them VIP tickets to come in so they can see how we do these festivals. I think, and I'll walk around and I'll introduce them to these people to show how we do this. We have a women's health tent. I mean, I'm telling you, it's all about education.
And we're gonna talk a lot about the attractions that you guys have, which is really a really great segue. So one of the major attractions, and we're gonna segue this into Chef Marjorie and Chef Dusty, but there are a lot of attractions, and I could go on and on from the education part, from the VIP part, but also the talent, which you guys actually have Bob Marley's son coming in, right? So one of our trivia questions, which this is one of my favorites, whoever can put it in, how many children did Bob Marley have, right? How many kids did Bob Marley have? Now listen, let me tell you something. There's a couple different answers.
On the Google machine.
There's some, okay, so we're including all of them. The adopted ones, the ones with Miss Rita, and the outside ones. So you got to hit all of the numbers, right? So we want the big number, not the ones he just had with Miss Rita. And y'all know he adopted some from Miss Rita because she had some kids before she met him. So we need the full number. And if you give us the full number, then you're able to get tickets. Perfect. So while we're waiting on that to go on, I want to segue and talk about some of the amazing attractions that we have. And of course, you know, definitely hanging out, VIP, but let's talk about the food. Can y'all tell us about the food, Dusty and Marjorie, please?
Amazing food. So we're going, you know, we're going to bring the islands to here in Michigan. So yes, you will have the islands there, right? So we're doing smoked pineapple bowls on a wood fire grill. And these wood fire, we're going to use a cherry hickory wood, and it's going to be amazing. We have snapper that's going to be hanging from our grill on the spit all afternoon, and it's going to be succulent. And we have Jamaican jerk salmon coming, oxtail stew. We have jerk jackfruit barbecue for the vegetarians, coconut curry chicken because that's a staple. Obviously, you can't forget the red beans, the rice. And for appetizers, we have like stuff like yuca. We're going to have a whole octopus that we're actually going to be smoking and grilling there. So we're bringing the islands here, and it's going to be amazing. And it'll be amazing to actually have, you know, Kai and Manny Marley there and tasting our food, the band, the VIP, and you know, maybe, you know, if you come by the food tent and you're at our event, come sneak a peek and get a taste.
Listen, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to eat. Well, Shariva, who actually answered the question correctly, Mr. Marley left us with 12 children. He had 4 biological with Miss Rita, who he adopted 2 of her children before. That gives us 6. And then he had 6 other kids throughout his life, right? Throughout his life. So the magic number for Mr. Bob Marley is 12. I got one more question since we are talking about Kai Marley. We got one more question, and since we're talking about Mr. Bob Marley, and this is can this be a bonus question?
Yeah,
because this one is kind of hard.
Bonus question. All
right, so this one is kind of hard. Mr. Bob Marley left us, and when he was buried, he's known to be buried with 3 items. I thought this was so cool. If you list the 3 items that were buried with him in his coffin, there are 3 items that he is known to be laid to rest with. If you know those 3 items, you put it in. Can they have 2 tickets? Because this will be the last.
Yes, I think that's
so if you get this one, you and your boo thing get a ticket. You and your boo thing. If you get this one, you and your main thing get a ticket.
Yeah, you're gonna have to work for that one. So
you gotta work for that. It is 3, and I just thought this was so cool.
See, I thought you were gonna go with the football, the 2 sons of his that play football.
No, that was too easy. You could Google that one too quick. This one I needed them to get in the mud.
Yeah.
Well, they
What
play for my
three
favorite
things did
school, the
he
Duke.
did he so since we're
At the
talking
Michigan
about
State.
Martin, so who wants to jump in and tell us, because we really need to tell people how they can with the location of this reggae event, all about it. You guys just take it away. I really want everybody to know, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Everybody, since they found out I had access to tickets, I've been getting emailed, inboxed, and everything. This is the hottest event in the state. So if you're not there, if you're looking, I don't know what you're doing on 420, but on 430, you need to be in Ypsilanti. That's where I'm gonna be. That's where everybody else is gonna be.
Yeah.
More 30, yeah.
So yeah, I'll be there. Look, it started at 10. I'll be there at 9:45.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, let's go. Let's go. You better get off of that plane and come out.
No, it's not a good. Oh no, football you missed one of them. It's not the football. The football wasn't in there. But go ahead, we got another one.
All right.
We're going to keep on trying. No, but it is going to be an amazing event. I mean, the artists, it's going to be all day long. Chef Marjorie, I am so excited that she joined along with us, along with Chef Dusty. They both are amazing. We ran into them at so many different events prior to this, and we knew we had to be part of that same team because, unless we take care of each other in this industry, and we all kind of we find like-minded people that want to keep it legal, that want to make sure, things are open. And we, someday this might be like, instead of going down to the bar, you're going to go down and you're going to be able to just smoke something down at, at the weed bar, so it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time of making sure, we calm everybody's fears, and that they continuously see that we have, dedicated people like yourselves, like, Dusty, and with Marjorie and Mel and myself, just they're so uneventful as far as any kind of whatever the community is fearful of. It's not a reality. I'd be more afraid of a beer tent than I would this.
Well, do me a favor. Tell them too the fact that, because there is a lot of misperception out there. Tell them about the fact of the time it takes to not only put these together, but just the dynamics of cannabis. Because that was an eye opener for me. I used to be anti-cannabis back in the day. And as I've learned about the industry, it shifted my mindset. I'm not one who uses it, but I see the value and believe in it. So tell people about that, because it's not just, like you say, it's not just popping up, throwing up some tents and doing something.
Yeah. There's a lot more. There's a lot more to it than that. Yeah. So along with what you said, Eric, I mean, you're going through the MRA and Laura, and it starts with the analyst, and then from there, and then there's paperwork you have to get ready.
It's about 4 to 6 months.
It's and then you've got the the employees, and everybody's got to be in the metric system. It's really there's a lot into it, and everybody knows too. There's a 90-day window. You just have a 90-day window to get this all ready to go. So you work on it months before, then you get the 90-day window. That 90-day window is when you are working pretty much hand in hand with MRA and Laura, making sure that we have all our I's dotted, T's crossed, and we're getting all the right paperwork in, because you can't miss that. We've experienced where you're at day 87. We had to switch everything around because it is a 90-day window, and so. But not only that, so when you're doing these and you get everything, but you have to every step of the way, so you have you get the retailers. We were the first ones to do it, where we had 7 retailers, 7 bands, 6 food trucks. Nobody's done that. Normally it's like one retailer, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's and they're just all coming. But I love when we have ideas and you can just call MRA. I mean, to have some of their cell phone numbers now, it's great because you can actually call them and say, okay, listen, this is what we were thinking. Should we do this? Because it takes, when you find the location, you have to have an address, you have to have everything. Yeah. Then, like Eric said, you have to go before the board and you have to get municipality to say yes, and to make sure that we can have an event there. And so a lot of times you're going before the board, and then you got to find a location. And the reason I'm telling you all this is because even if you find a location, you still have to put fencing up. It's totally different. You can
The trash cans have to
the
be
community
special.
cannot see inside where you're having your festival at. They are not allowed to see inside where you're having it. So there's still the 6-foot fencing you got to put up and try to make it so the outside can't see what's going on the inside. And so, there's special trash cans that you have to have that slits in them so the hands don't fit through them. That's where, because everything's seed to sale. You know what I mean? You can't just go throw it into the dumpster just because that's where all the food stuff is going into the dumpster. That's not where it goes. There's a special, trash can that it goes into. So, so it was a learning process from extinguishers to, making sure that we had all the extension cords covered on the ground that are going from the stage to the sound. And, so it's endless. It's endless of different things. And then not only on top of that, when you get the stage and the sound, find all the music that you want to do, then it's all the little things too, as far as like, the dispensaries. And then you have to figure out, okay, how can we do this? And we're 2 football fields away. Then we get the transporters, because the transporters have to transport everything in legally. And then we have security on usually for 4 days, 24/7 on for 4 days, because your tents are up and they're sitting there, you know what I mean? So it just goes on and on as far as different things. And honestly, it is so exciting to do this. But when the day comes, it is showtime. And then by time, I'm telling you, it is showtime. And you're so excited because you worked so hard for months to get it ready. This one is going to be epic. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be epic. We heard that people are busing in from Ohio, and we are so excited. The outer states that are not legal, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, they're coming. These people come to these because they want to learn, they want to see it, and they want to partake. You know what I mean? But we have to have a separate consumption tent, everything. It's got to be farthest away from the retailers. I mean, it's amazing. It's
so
amazing.
to the skeptical people,
awesome. So I just want to
regulated
jump
and
in.
safe.
We got some new people coming in. Let's make sure that we let everybody and remind everybody who we have. So we have Mel and Nancy, who are event coordinators from Michigan Cannabis Event. Hey, all right. And then we also have our celebrity chefs, Chef Marjorie and Chef Dusty, who are the official chefs for the events. But not only are they the official chefs for the events, they have a big following. So definitely go on and follow these people. And then we are all talking about the big, this is the hottest and the dopest festival in the state this month. I don't care what you say. I've seen all of y'all flyers. It ain't doing like this. And that's one of the reasons why I want to talk about some of the entertainment. You guys have got star-studded entertainment. So Mel and Nancy, you guys talked about how hard, how much work you have to go into to put all of this together. But let's just talk about what you guys have achieved and what you put together. The lineup is amazing. So people have to know about the lineup. They have to know about the food trucks. And then Marjorie and Dusty, will you guys reiterate at the end again about your VIP experience that you're going to be having? So I'm going to have you guys take it away. Go ahead, Mel. And talk about the plans.
I'll talk. I don't mind talking, so I'm excited about it. So I'll go ahead and talk. So our lineup. I mean, everybody knows it's Cimone coming. Cimone Marley coming. Yeah. He's coming in a day early. I'm super excited about that. He's going to do a meet and greet with me at one of the dispensaries. He is.
Do we know what dispensary or no? It's not out yet.
I can't let it out yet. So I'm so
okay.
sorry.
So make sure that they follow you guys so they can find out where, right?
Yep. I will.
Okay.
I definitely will. Yep. And
okay,
I'll be announcing it. So anyway, so they're going to come in a day early, but then we have, and it was nice because we did end up getting a Michigan one too. Like we have the Xeon Lions coming from Kalamazoo. We also have the Flex Crew. We have Yard Squad, and we have Nary. It's going to be amazing. And these guys everybody's flying in the day before. They'll all get here the day before, and then I believe the music's going to start around about 11:30 is when it's going to start. 11:30 is when the first band starts, and it's going to be just once we have that, and then Cimone will be in the VIP tent. He's basically said he'll do anything that we want him to do. I'm super excited. He's like letting us use his face, his logo to go on.
Right.
He's got to be a really cool guy.
So, he's a great guy. I'm telling you, this is what I love. Like we decided, and again, it's going to go back to this. We love to give back. So I actually asked him, can we go can we have your logo on our lemonade, CBD lemonade? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, who are you endeared to? I don't want to do it for free. I don't want to do anything like that. But he's really endeared to the children of Jamaica. So we're going to give back to the kids in the school system in Jamaica and give him a percentage back. So, he plans on coming back. We're planning on doing another reggae festival. He wants to do this all the time, like every year, maybe twice a year with us. So I'm excited about that.
Love that. I love that. So that's going to segue us over to Chef Marjorie and Dusty. So let's talk about, so one of the things that she talked about is they have their float beer drink, which is
Lemonade,
awesome.
yep.
And so we love that. But you know, a lot of people, and this is a thing for Chef Marjorie and Dusty, a lot of people want to start fusing at their home, right? And so we know in the VIP there will be no fusion or anything like that. But one of the things that we want to ask the professionals, I think everybody should to hear to this. It's not so much of you just sticking butter in a pan and putting your weed in there or whatever. So I know you guys have seen a lot. What is the biggest mistake that you as chefs, or that that people do that are newbies, or even that they consider themselves experts in fusing? What's the biggest mistake that people make when they're trying to cook?
Well, for me, most of the time I notice that they don't know how to. They don't blend it well, so you don't taste the weed.
Okay.
So it's a pungent. When you don't know what you're doing and you start off experimenting, it's usually you can take. It's real pungent until you. This is not something like you can just be like, oh, okay, I use a regular stick of butter. I'm gonna put a stick of weed butter, because that may not be the solution. It may be another way that you have to do it. So you're not just eating cannabis.
Okay. Let's see what you got.
So in my experience with people making their own and having some stories told to me, is a lot of people make their own and want to like not just go to the professionals and get it, and they say, oh, I do that when I have this much trim and and then they make their own, and they end up eating immense amounts of it to get so, the effects of THC in an edible can take up to 60 minutes to activate. So they get so euphoric high where they don't know how to counteract it with an isolate like CBD. So, that's where I see a lot of people making that mistake at home.
I love that. So everybody hear that, all of you home chefs that are deciding, and our show on Monday will be about, people that just start to be at home. One of the things I wanted to announce our third winner, which is Miss Jessica Austin. She got the answer. Bob Marley was buried with his Bible. It's open to Psalms 23, a stalk of weed, and then also his red guitar. Right? So definitely enduring for that. Thank you so much, Jess, for putting that in. But yeah, so if you Google that is where he is. That's what he was laid to rest with. So we say that to say, we have so many different people that are looking to get into this industry, right? And trying to find out where their passion is, and it can be in so many different places. That's the cool thing that I love about having you guys on as guests, is that it really, really shows that this industry needs everybody, right? So from chefs to event coordinators to lobbyists to insurance agents to advocates, we all have a place here in this industry, and we can all be able to win. So we got like maybe less than 10 minutes. So, and then we'll leave a little bit with so that we can have any questions that anybody has. So I guess I'm going to give it to Marjorie and Chef Dusty. What would you like to leave the people with? What do you want them to know about you
for me, I would like the people to know that this event in Ypsilanti is going to bring out, the array of diversity. It's not only going to bring out, cannabis people trying and the education purposes. It's going to bring out so much diversity where people that, maybe not participate in cannabis recreational or medically can see, because Ann Arbor that weekend will have their their actual graduation, I believe, right?
Mhm.
And you know, I know that Mel has a special plan where, you know, the people that are cannabis in tune can bring their parents and can bring other people, their grandparents, and get in. And what's cool about that is, you know, maybe it's not VIP, but we have so many great vendors that it's going to be a VIP experience from the moment you walk in
Yeah.
to the end of Cannabis Row.
I'm gonna be there at 9:45.
Yes. 9:45.
9:45. I ain't gonna meet you there. I'm gonna beat you there. I'm gonna be there. You know what I'm saying?
You can come up, set up at 7:30.
That's been, listen. I might if you give me some snapper. I all hands on deck. I'm bringing Erik. He don't
I
know.
want to say too, these events are not just for those who are connoisseurs
Yeah.
of cannabis. Yeah, someone who's not a user. I've been to events like this,
You
and
going to this
it's
one?
fun. And Simone's gonna drag me out. I see
Yeah, you going to this one? Why are you acting like you're not gonna be there?
She's gonna put the gun to my head and bring me down. Well, it's a week after my birthday, so I guess
You're
I can
gonna
go
be
ahead
there.
and
What are you
chill
talking about?
out.
We talked about this.
Yes, we did. Okay. I will be there. Be there.
Yeah.
But this stuff is fun because it's the networking, it's the education, it's the communication, and it's also good economics because it's people coming into a community. They may spend money at other places.
Mm-hmm.
So for the
Mhm.
folks that don't think that this is a business, that don't think that this is commerce, that don't think that this is a value for your community, you better get real.
Yep.
Stuff is really good and it's structured and it is experts. These are experts here. And that's
Well
why
said.
these are experts here. I'm glad to have you all.
You
Go
know,
ahead.
I was going to say,
Yep, go ahead.
Go ahead.
even in our Niles event last year. So Niles is very green community. They are looking to, they have nothing going for their city. I mean, they've got to look at alternative sources for income. So they decided to go really green. They brought in over 87,000 in taxes just to their community. And they said, you know what? It doesn't seem like much to a different city, but to them, that's somebody's
That's a
job.
lot.
That's a position that they can actually bring back in, and it's going to provide back for the community. And now there's new restaurants that are coming in and event like theater and a lot of different, they're making it so that you want to go to that city because you can consume and you can consume in the, near the restaurant, or there's a bed and breakfast that allow you to consume. It's amazing what's happening with these.
Well, I'll definitely, and I'm going to let Nancy take it, but I will definitely speak to that. I live in a small area, Muskegon and Muskegon Heights. And so Muskegon has really taken on the green, and not only that, beer and restaurant, just the hospitality period, and green. And so when they recently listed out the amount of money that was issued to the different municipalities, Muskegon Heights, who definitely needed that revenue, they have not been able to kind of figure it out for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't work in that area, but there was a big disconnect. So to your point, we're seeing these municipalities be able to profit, and not only profit, but be able to attract other ways of commerce in relation to entities or municipalities who have not kind of gotten the whole thing together yet. And so they're really missing out on these large opportunities, right? So Niles and these other places that are being able to participate, it really behooves the municipalities to either figure it out or just say no, you know what I mean? But not standing in the way, because those other municipalities are going to eat your lunch.
Right. I was just gonna say,
but go ahead, Nell.
Yeah, I was gonna say real quick too, like kind of touching on that. When we go into a town, a city, we reach out to them first. It's there. Like in Niles, we did all all local bands. You know what I mean? We only the cover band came from Minnesota, but he actually was from Michigan, and he was our Queen cover
originally.
Band. And then we have and then we always reach out to the vendors that are like artists, something different. I don't want 6 tie-dye t-shirt places. And I really want to give people like different things in our vendor groups, and give people a chance that maybe they're super talented and they never really got a platform or a place to go. So it is reaching out to those communities. and giving them a place and a platform to, one, they can make some money there, two, get their name out. It's great. It's great advertisement for them, but it's giving back to the city. You know what I mean? Because you're reaching out there first. But I did really quick want to touch on too that.
Hold on, and 1 second, I'm gonna let you give it. So if anyone has a question, because we're wrapping up in 10 minutes, I'm gonna let you keep talking. But if you have a question, please put it in the chat. We'll be able to answer those. We got about 7-8 minutes left, so we want to be able to take any questions that we have before we wrapped up. Go ahead, keep going.
Okay, all I was going to say is this: it hasn't been talked about yet, so I want to just bring it up. So, yeah, as great as this show is going to be, because it really is. Just I want everybody to remember too. They can also, they don't have to be present. You can win a trip to Ganja Vacation, Jamaica. We're giving away a trip.
You ain't tell me that.
Kamani's going to draw the winner, and you don't have to be present. So, so that is going to be an Airbnb in Ganja Vacation, Jamaica. 4 days. And they're going to start following us around, and we're going to do it at every one of our festivals. Now they're going to let us give a vacation away. And then another thing I want to say is Grasshopper Farms. This is super cool. There's a green ticket. It's almost like a Willy Wonka golden ticket. Somebody's going to win an eighth a month for 20 years. That is also
an eighth a month for 20 years.
An eighth a month for
that's
20
like
years.
What's the sweepstakes? What's the sweepstakes?
That's awesome. That's awesome. And
that's
again,
dope. That's really that's
what I love
awesome.
about the MRA. That is Grasshopper Farms going to lawyers, going to everything, going to the lottery. You know what I mean? Everything to make sure that this can happen legally. To do that eighth for 20 years, and I'm telling you, those are the people I want to be a part of our village, because we're keeping everything legal. I am so excited about Marge and Dusty being with us, because I'm telling you that VIP tent is going to be over the top.
Are you guys adopting me and Erik? Because we want to be a part of the village.
You guys are welcome to be in that VIP.
Okay, we are in the village. We're always compliant.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll come and adopt you.
I'm actually
Thank you so much. Yeah, take us off the street.
I'm going to watch it.
I don't partake either, Erik. So it's one of those things. I just understand I understand the benefits of it. So it's very
and
easy.
The fun of it.
Yeah, and it is a lot of fun.
And the industry needs folks like us to be a part of the advocates and allies.
Exactly.
Hey, Crystal has a question.
This is a
She
good
says,
question.
"Do you serve alcohol at your events? I've seen events that do that more and more. What are the thoughts on alcohol and cannabis at the event?"
That's a great question, and no, you cannot. Is it coming? It probably is coming. I don't know when. Maybe.
No, and I spoke to the MRA.
We just
like
talked to
2
them,
weeks ago, and so they said it's probably going to be a reality in about a year or two. But honestly, what the hindrance is the federal government. So as soon as it passes through federal, because the alcohol is controlled through the federal government, that's what the obstacle is right now. So. And honestly,
no alcohol.
I love our festivals with just the cannabis, because people are just relaxed and chilled. It's not like you never have fights. You never have anybody getting, unruly or anything like that. It's a good camaraderie with everybody, So, so it will happen sometime in the future. MRAs, they're not opposed to it, but they just know with the federal government, it's not going to be allowed right now.
Sounds good.
Unfortunately, to be the Debbie Downer, we're about 6 to 10 years away because of the U.S. Senate and the number of people you have to change in the U.S. Senate. That's before another show to walk y'all through the boring minutia of that. But that doesn't stop the ability to have these great fun events, just minus alcohol.
Okay, look, so this is perfect. We got a question for Chef Margie and Dusty. Tasha wants to know how does she keep her can of gummies from melting in her room? It's too hot, girlfriend. So, what does
you
she
must
do?
grew up in my grandma's foster house.
She said it has gummies melting. How do we help her?
Well, it could be either it's not enough gelatin. It's not enough gelatin in there, or she's not getting it at the correct temperature for it not to so it can be like it turns into like it's like levels. It's like soft candy, hard candy.
Okay.
Hard candy.
No, and I read that wrong. So she said it is at room temperature, but how does she keep them from melting at room temperature? So what you're saying, I'm sure. Would you say it for her again?
It's all into the cooking temperature of it. It's the cooking temperature, and if you have enough gelatin in it, if that's the way that it's. I don't know what way she's making it, so it's kind of hard to say, but
Yeah.
more than likely that is why. And then sometimes you're supposed to put it in the refrigerator or freezer after it's done, and then take it out and let it sit, and then it should hold room temperature.
A good tip.
I got a
would
good
say
tip
is,
too. Turn the heat down.
Well, no, hers was
Right.
at room, but this is a cooking thing. I thought
You
it
want
was
to
too.
stay at that great
I
temperature.
did too. I thought it was
in
too
your
hot,
house, you
but
better
it
turn
is a
that
cooking
the
thing.
AC on.
All right, we're gonna take one more question and then we're gonna get out of here. Anybody else got a question?
Daryl has been asking about processing for credit cards, and so I see it in the chat. She's been asking about processing for credit cards, credit and debit processing for dispensaries that sell at the event.
Okay,
And if
how are
so,
we
your
looking
question is
at? Okay, so he wants to know, yeah, how are you looking with credit and debit processing?
So some of the dispensaries will be able to do debit cards, and then
Okay.
we'll have ATMs set
always
up
have
throughout the
ATMs,
whole
yeah.
event.
Yeah.
Again, because of
That is so smart.
federal laws, we try to keep it away from anything that the feds can get their hands on or anything like that. So
Regulating.
yeah, exactly. So we try to make it so there are dispensaries that do have the debit processing, and that they're not concerned about any of their funding getting tagged or
Right.
held or anything like that. So it is available for both.
Right.
And then Daryl, if you do, we do have some partners with some cannabis payment processing alternatives or associations. Most of the time, when you go into the dispensaries, the kind of easier thing is the ATM process, meaning that if your weed costs $13, they round it up to 20, and then they give you $6 back, and there's a little tip jar. You tell your bud tender thank you, and you're gone about your business, right? But then there also are now entities are becoming more involved. Matter of fact, I get a chance to have the pleasure of being on the payment banking and compliance a board that's coming up, and so there are some entities like Dart Banks and a couple of other ones that are now doing in Abaca, who are now offering
Union
processing where they
Right.
found ways to be able to do it more with credit
Right.
card processing and a host of other ones. So it is there. They have created, I don't want to use the word loopholes, but they have created pathways for those to be able to be done, and be able to have instruments like a Square. So you can always contact me. I'm Cimone. Everything is Cimone K-Sign, and you can find me anywhere. Christian Mingle, Tinder, Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Any place that you looking or whatever, you can find me on there. Just put Cimone K-Sign in there. You can find me. I'm readily accessible, and we'll talk further.
Also, too, let me say, Daryl, and this is actually for both Mel and Nancy and for our chefs. We at
Daryl said he got a
InfoMM,
solution for both. Well, then call me. Tell me
yeah,
about it.
and we at InfoMM have a supplier diversity and procurement program to try to get folks like you all into being able to do services for the
I love
large
y'all
corporate
more.
entities around the country. So reach out to us at InfoMM and
Yep.
get involved in the MProcure program.
Okay.
You
All right,
might
All right.
want-
Well, listen, we're gonna wrap up, and so y'all know I gotta show mad love to the people who actually produced this and allow me and Erik to come in here and come into your phone and your timeline and everything. InfoMM, which is Minorities for Medical Marijuana. We started in 2015. We are now in over 30 states, something like that, and we're
That's
global.
amazing.
We're even
Yes.
in
Good
UK.
for you. Yeah.
Right. So this is a
Canada,
big
UK,
thing. My
and Jamaica, I
producer
believe.
tonight is actually the queen bee, which is Miss Roz McCarty. She actually produced this show. Thank you so much for having us. And I appreciate everything that you do. So listen, if you are in cannabis, this has nothing to do with color, creed, or anything. If you are in cannabis and you're looking at building relationships and getting into like the dopest team in the industry, I need you to go to InfoMM United and become a member. The membership is free. We have so many benefits. It doesn't matter what state you are in, whether it's legal or not legal. we have a pathway
nice.
or somebody to be able to help you. And as you can see, we only network with the cream of the crop. Right?
Yes.
So M for like, look, I tell Miss Rise all the time, it's like being in the gang.
Gang, gang.
Gang. It's like
Awesome.
it's so
Right.
dope.
Love
It is
it.
so amazing. And then of course, Erik, I love you. That's
Yeah,
my
I love
partner
you
in
too,
crime.
Cimone.
I want to
We-
thank all of our guests for coming in. We always
Thank
have
you.
a good time. This was a fun show, wasn't it,
This is
Erik?
fun.
I told you.
Yeah, it
That was
was.
fun.
It
Thank you
was.
so much. Thank you for having us.
Thank you
you
for
for
having
having
us. We
us.
appreciate
All
you.
right.
Thank you for
Now I'm
coming
gonna
on. We
get
got to
down
have
this
y'all
food.
back. We got
All
to
right,
have
so
That
y'all
we'll
back.
see
Margie made
everybody
me
Monday
delicious
night.
food.
Ooh, and look,
I
they
know. I
got
want to
food.
be there.
Chef Margie.
I know.
Yeah.
So we'll see everybody Monday
Okay.
night where we'll be talking about talking with Chef Smokahanas, and she's going to be talking to us about what people that aren't leaving the house for 420 can be doing if they just want to wake and bake.
Nice.
All right. I love everybody.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank
Thank you all. Thank you
Bye.
all.
Goodbye.